Patrick Adams.
Hi everybody, thank you. Hi, how's it going?
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Meet
Are you all the
again.
way down there? You don't even come up here? It's
No, I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay, okay.
I don't like the stage.
Can I sit down?
I'm a bit shy, of course.
Am I allowed to sit down?
All right, well, first of all, thank you for accepting Jack TV's invitation to visit Manila.
Oh, I'm sorry it took so long. We would have liked to come earlier, but busy making the TV show happen.
So safe to say it's your first time in the Philippines, yeah?
I've actually been here once before.
Oh, really?
I've been to Cebu, but I was about, I think 15 or 16 years old. It was on family vacation, so.
Family vacation.
Yes, but never
Why
up to Manila.
Cebu?
We went to a place, like a resort near Cebu, and then we spent like a couple of days in town. My father was a journalist, so he likes to travel to places that are a little bit off the beaten path, rather than going to where you would typically go. So that's where we went. We had a great time.
Sounds like an exciting life.
It was sometimes dangerous, but yes.
Sometimes dangerous. All right, so, well, you've been eating a lot of mangoes. I've been seeing
So much
mangoes the
mango.
whole day.
No,
Like everywhere I go, there are waiters, like, you know,
it's so
holding
good.
trays of
So
mangoes.
good here. No bulat yet. Bulat?
Balut.
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 Balut. I keep doing that. No balut yet, though.
Yeah, we're pretty sure you're gonna get to taste that before
How
you
many
go
people
home.
here have had balut? Yeah? Not excited. I can tell the whole group of not excited about
Just
it.
make sure you eat the chick, okay? That's like the best part.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so Patrick, are you surprised on how popular Suits has become in this part of the world?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, we shoot the show in this like warehouse in Toronto, and it feels remarkably unsexy when we're doing it. And then we kind of step outside of that and see how popular the show has become, and see that it actually has reached so many people everywhere, and that's shocking. I mean, imagine what you do every day, and suddenly there's somebody on the other side of the planet that's saying thank you for it. So it's great. It's incredible. Very surreal.
So do you feel sexy now?
No, not yet. We're halfway there.
Yeah. Well, you
I'm surrounded by a lot of very sexy people, so I have to taper my foot. I'm
okay.
growing into it. Hopefully by season 8.
Such a gentleman. All right. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, you know, our friends from the press are ready with their questions. So if you guys have questions for Mr. Patrick J. Adams, just feel free to approach the microphone. It is right here.
Approach
And-
the mic.
Yeah, here we go. Free for all time.
Nobody's answering questions. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Pam.
Has anyone ever asked you for legal advice?
Has anyone ever asked me for legal advice? Is the question. No, because that would be so foolish. But I've given legal advice. So that's what I do. Now that I play a lawyer on TV, I just dole it out like I know what I'm talking about. I actually almost represented myself. I have a scooter, and I got into a small scooter accident with a city bus. It sounds much worse than it is. But I got really hopped up, and I thought, you know what? I play a lawyer on TV. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna stand my ground and prove it. And I got about 5 minutes into the research of what would be required, and I was like, oh God, I can't do this. Just pay the fine and get out of here. So being a lawyer is a lot more difficult, I think, in real life than it is playing one on TV. So I try to avoid giving out too many suggestions on how people should represent themselves.
Or playing one on TV.
Exactly, I'm not even a real one on TV.
All right, anyone else? Who has a question for Mr. Patrick Adams? Okay, go ahead.
Hi, welcome to the Philippines,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations for eating your weight in mango. I
Thank
follow it
you.
with
Thank you very much.
Speaking of food, what are your favorite kinds of food? Can you have them now?
In general,
Yeah.
well, I'm eating much better now that I'm on a TV show and I have to eat well. But my favorite kinds of food. God, that's so hard. I love everything. If I'm eating a lot of southeastern food, I'm eating a lot of pho.
Yeah.
A lot of people say pho. It's just an endless word. It doesn't have a period. And eat a lot of vegetables. And I try and eat healthy. A lot of vegetables, a lot of grain. But I eat pretty much everything. If you put a pizza in front of me, it will be eaten.
If we were to go to your hometown, it would be our first time to go there. Where
Sure.
would you take us
To
eat
Toronto-
the best,
Toronto?
the best food?
Oh, I'm a biased person now because I have friends that own restaurants in Toronto, so I would take you to all of their places. There's a place called Grand Electric that I love. There's a new place opening called Electric Mud, which is a weird name, I know, but it's good. So I would take you around to all my friends' restaurants because they're delicious. And Toronto is an amazing town for food, so you should come visit, and I'll take each and every one of you out individually.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you for that question. Ooh, are you wearing lipstick?
No.
Okay, I guess this is mine. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm gonna
That's
convert
fine.
the microphones here. All right, so I'm gonna stand at the other end. So if anyone has questions on this side, you can just use this. Hello, Ginger.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome back to Manila.
Thank you.
Well, first off, I have to say I'm a Trojan as well. I
Are you?
realize you went to USC,
Right
so
on.
fight on.
I know.
It's nice to have you back.
That's weird, what we just did. We just went right on. That's very weird.
If you want to talk about your amazing experience there as well, that would be nice. But did you ever actually have any hopes of going to Harvard, or maybe having a little bit more of the track that you're on TV in real life?
Like, you mean to go to school in Harvard or to study law?
Lawyer, yeah.
Oh, to become a lawyer? No, I never wanted to become a lawyer. My mom wanted me to become a lawyer. Because when you tell a mother you want to become an actor, they stare at you blankly for a long time. She wanted me to be wearing a suit every day, and I said, I am never going to wear a suit every day. Never going to happen. Don't even try. So now she's laughing. I was never a remarkably good student, so going to a school like Harvard was probably never in the cards for me. But I did want to go to school to become an actor, so that's why I ended up at SC, was to find a great program where I could be acting 24 hours a day and somehow end up with a big fancy diploma at the end of it.
All right. So far, your trip to Manila, we've seen a couple of your tweets and
Right.
a couple of
Tumblers?
a couple of the tweets. Tell us about your experience so far. Is there anything that stuck out in your memory outside of mangoes that you want to make sure?
Sadly, that's been pretty much it because we just got in yesterday and we literally went straight to the room and ate food and went for a run in the gym, and now we're here. So all I've seen of Manila is this hotel, and it's a beautiful hotel. And the drive to here from the hotel, which was great too. So sadly, we haven't had a lot of time, and it doesn't look like we're going to have a lot of time on this trip to walk around and see the city, which if you've been following our trip through the rest of Singapore and Malaysia, we like to walk around, we like to take pictures, we like to get out of this and go out there and sort of hide ourselves and see what's what. Sadly, it doesn't seem like we might have that time on this trip.
So no time to kind of just unwind during your stay in the Philippines?
I think we're going to take off to some secret location where we're going to go sit on a beach somewhere for a while, but sadly that won't be here, so we won't be able to see anything.
All right. Is that how did you find out about that, or how did you make that place?
Through other people we know that have visited here. I'm only being tentative about saying it so that we don't have people arrive via helicopter onto a beach somewhere. Because these Filipino fans are crazy. You guys are so excited, so we're trying to just keep that quiet where we're going.
Sure.
Yeah.
But,
We found out through friends though, people who have been to Philippines.
keeping it nameless, what is your impression of the beaches, or what are your impressions of it?
Well, my impression also from being here last time was it was so beautiful. I mean, some of the best. I went scuba diving the last time I was here, and that was gorgeous. So the water is beautiful, and the people are so warm and so inviting and so welcoming that we just feel so immediately welcome to the country right away.
Last question, you talked about how crazy the fans are here and to show their support. What's the craziest thing a fan has done, or maybe a Filipino fan has done to show their love for you?
Well, someone just brought poi into a room. We were just spinning, poi is fire dancing.
He is very good, by the way. He's better than the person who brought them.
I just started taking classes. So we were doing it in the other room, but she ran in with him and she just started spinning them like crazy, and she was having the best time. There she is. She's the boy girl. So that's pretty much the crazy thing. Nobody's too crazy though. Fans of the show have been very respectful, so nothing's ever like out of control. People make us really beautiful gifts. We were in KL and people gave us little tokens that they made for us or wrote us letters. So it's all very, very sweet. Nothing really scary has happened yet. In Singapore, there were 2 people who came to the event who were a little bit creepy. We couldn't figure out what they're doing. I don't know if you're allowed to say this on TV, but I'll say it anyway. They kind of look like what we would call like 70s porn stars, like with big mustaches and like wavy hair. And they were just kind of like really interested in having us sign other people's names to pictures. It was very, very odd. It was a man and a woman. I think they were a man and wife. I don't know.
The wife had the, facial hair too?
She was never so facial hair. She just had kind of a dead look in her eyes. So we were trying to figure out what was going on. They were very sweet. They just wanted us to write PR on about 8,000 photos. And we were like, we're not really sure what's going on here. But, good fans. They're, thanks for coming out to them. And I hope PR was happy with their
All right, go ahead.
Michael, I'm Patrick.
Call me Michael.
You like wearing suits, or are you a t-shirt and jeans guy?
I am a t-shirt and jeans guy, but I've started to love wearing suits. I feel like I've started to learn to wear suits. I've had people comment on the first season. They could see that I was like uncomfortable to stand like this, like a sullen little boy in a suit, because my body didn't know how to like actually stand in them. And then over the course of the second season, I feel like I've begun to learn, mostly by watching Harvey Specter, who just walks around in a suit like he was born in them. And learning how to like stand properly and wear a suit, and now I'm starting to enjoy them more. But I like to wear them for short periods of time, and when we shoot the show, we're wearing suits for a 16-hour day. So by the end of that, I am so ready to get at them and be in my pajamas.
What's it like working with Gabriel?
Thank you. Gabriel's incredible. He's such a great guy. He works really hard. And he's very supportive. Right from the beginning of the show, we were both said, these are long hours and you can get really overwhelmed and people can start really acting out and sort of, there's a reason that there's a stigma about certain actors on shows kind of becoming divas. And we both really sat down with each other and just said, we want to avoid that at all costs. And just make sure that if we do start going that direction, we'll catch each other and make sure that we just stay humble and enjoy the process. So he's been a real brother throughout the whole process. We've become very close. And I like to make fun of him all the time. And I'm trying my best to not do it here on television. He wears sandals. He wears Birkenstock.
Hi, I'm Portia. Not that you need to know. Anyway.
You do need to know. It's okay.
Okay, first of all, congratulations on your successful makeup scene with Rachel Zane.
You're not supposed to know about that yet, are you? None of you in this room are supposed to know about that yet.
Well, there's technology.
Thank you. I
Anyway,
appreciate that. It's strange to be congratulated on a good makeup. But
what do you think makes Mike Ross better than Harvey Specter?
everything.
Except your eidetic memory.
Nothing, they're not, there's no better or worse. I think, for my part, I like Mike's journey on the show because he's, at this point, you're getting to see a lot of his personal side, and Harvey, we have yet to see, we're sort of chipping away at it. So, that's what I enjoy most about playing him on the show, but I like them both equally as human beings. I think they're both interesting characters. For me, Mike is a little bit more like me. He's a little bit more open. He's a little bit more interested in doing good and kind of getting to the bottom of things and sort of finding the good in them. Whereas Harvey is a little bit more reserved and distant. Can we turn that music off? I'm like, what? Is that part of it? Is that part of our event? Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Sir.
Sir.
Hello.
Don't survey. I'm not worthy of a sir yet.
I think you are.
Thank you.
You were talking about suits a while ago, like learning how to wear them.
Yeah.
Can you give like a tip or like the secret to having a good suit?
Shoulders. Having a good suit?
Yeah.
Well, having a good tailor, or having a lot of money, or those are good tips. But what I actually have found is that you don't have to have a lot of money to have a good suit. And a lot of the suits that I get put on could be from anywhere, and it's just how it falls on your body and how you wear it. So in terms of wearing it, I've just learned to basic things that my mom should have, tried to teach me and I never listened to, which is like stand up straight and, put your shoulders back and those are things that I've learned throughout the process of wearing them. But it's also about combination, finding shirts that fit with suits and stuff. I'm learning it all though. I'm like a student of suits right now. So ask me in 2 years and I'll be maybe a little bit more of a pro.
Cool, thanks.
But
All right.
a good tailor helps.
Hold on. You have to exchange
What did I
mics.
do?
I am sorry, I'm gonna give you the one with the lipstick. Because this is about to go off. So
Yeah.
we don't want that.
I'm gonna put more lipstick.
Thank you.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, in relation to fashion, what is your biggest fashion splurge so far? Do you collect anything fashion
Good
related?
question. It's really hard for me. Torian and I both laugh about it because people think you're on TV shows and you just spend money on this stuff, and we have the hardest time. We still go to like Urban Outfitters and we're like $20 for a T-shirt. I bought I like shoes a lot, but I bought a wool blazer last year that was way more money than I could imagine spending on something, and it felt really, really silly, but I've worn it about 1,000 times, so as long as I'm wearing it a lot. Shoes are important to me though, because I do a lot of work. I do work around the house, and I do a lot of woodwork, and I do a lot of stuff that involves having a good boot that can sort of help me move stuff around and be active, so spending money on shoes is important because I need to relax. Thank you.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi.
I would just like to know, what are your similarities with Michaels? Or are you more of Harvey or more like Michaels?
I think I'm more like Mike, and I think Gabriel's more like Mike too. Who's really like Harvey Specter?
But they call you Baby Harvey.
They don't know why they do that, and they can just stop. He's like a baby Harvey, but I think that Mike is slowly becoming his own version. I mean, I think that you can sort of see that the path of the show is not that he just wants to become just like Harvey, that he's got a lot of things that he's wrestling with, and there are things about Harvey that he doesn't like and he doesn't want to become. So I think hopefully we'll move away from baby Harvey mode and into Mike Ross being his own man kind of a thing. I have a lot of similarities with Mike though. We're both those guys who are trying to find the good in things and trying to do what's right, sometimes losing sight of the bigger picture. And Harvey Specter, if he's good at one thing, is keeping his eye on the bigger picture.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Since Mike is a fraud, do you think education plays a big role in attaining a certain status in life? Since he's very successful, but he's a college dropout.
That's a good question. I think, at least in the United States, there have been a lot of people that have proven that massive amounts of success are not dependent on formal educations. I think that formal education is good, but I think that there's something a little bit missing from the process of formal education, which is somebody engaging their own curiosity. We have people like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs, or people who have gone on to do incredible things and basically build industries on their own because they didn't want to sort of play by the same game. And I think that for a lot of people, going to school and getting a good job is the focus, but there are certain visionary people that need to have room to sort of experiment and think outside the box. And sometimes schools aren't great at the think outside the box part. But that being said, I don't think people should not go to school just because they're lazy or they don't want to not go to school. I think you've got to sort of follow your own curiosity and see what you find.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This side, please.
Hi.
Hi. How would you describe Mike Ross's evolution in the span of 2 seasons, and how is he changing the firm?
That's a good question. I think Mike, I think he's becoming older. He's becoming more mature. He's becoming older. That's the most obvious. He's getting older, as most living creatures do. He's getting older. He's getting more mature. He's figuring out who he is. He's getting a little bit more confident. And I think in terms of changing the firm, he's really put everybody in a very sticky position in the firm. And so right now you're seeing it's creating a lot of conflict and creating sort of a rift. But I think in the process of doing that, he's forcing people to become really clear about who they are and what they want. It's the same way that, when you meet somebody really honest in your own life, it sort of affects you. You sort of go, oh, this person is really here and centered and honest. Sort of doing what they want, and they're not messing around, and that sort of affects your reality. So I think that his presence in the office is sort of having that effect on people. And I haven't really thought about that. That's a good question. I'll think more and come back and let you know.
Also, who do you think deserves to be with Mike Ross ultimately Jenny or Rachel?
I'm glad that you guys still think about Jenny, because she hasn't been around for a while. I like Jenny a lot. And I hope she comes back. But she's been a very busy actress on other shows, namely the one that my girlfriend is on. So she's been all over the place. I hope we get her back. I think that the show is aiming towards Mike sort of growing into a relationship with Rachel. But, you know, these things change, and people change, and they have to work together, and it's a complicated relationship. So who knows might sort of come back into the picture. I don't know. I think for now he's obviously he's heading for some Rachel action.